Hi YouTubers, this is a response to the video, What are the Benefits of Atheism by Shaka Now, and he wanted to know from atheists, what are the benefits of atheism vis-a-vis, in comparison, the benefits of Christianity. I just wanted to start by saying that there's something kind of odd about the question, because the question seems to assume a number of things. Number one, it seems to assume that when something, when believed, has benefits for a person, that somehow is an indication of its truth. In fact, something could be a lie and be believed and in fact be beneficial, and in fact something could be very unbeneficial and not be true at all, or could be true and be unbeneficial. So I think there's something very odd about assuming that if Christianity has a whole bunch of benefits and atheism supposedly doesn't, that that's somehow going to prove the truth of Christianity. There are people lined up in mental hospitals who will tell you that they are Jesus Christ. I actually am a psychologist, so I work with mentally ill people, who will tell you that they are Jesus Christ, and tell you a whole bunch of things that they claim in their minds make them happier people if we would only agree with them in their truth. So again, it's very, very odd that you seem to be insinuating that. Maybe I'm reading you wrong. Secondly, when you talk about the benefits of Christianity, you're automatically assuming that Christianity has benefits. Generally, people who believe that Christianity has benefits are people who believe that there are certain things you get from Christianity you couldn't get anywhere else, when in fact there are other religions, other belief systems, other philosophies that other people claim give them just as many benefits as Christianity. Secondly, you're automatically assuming that the same benefits that Christians get from Christianity, which is meaning in life, happiness, togetherness with other people, are not things that atheists get from atheism. It's as if you're expecting that atheism has another set of benefits somehow separate from the benefits that Christianity gives, and you're assuming that these benefits are benefits that couldn't be gotten by people with neither of them. What Christians tend to do is they tend to take a lot of the benefits of living and living wisely and simply attribute them to Christianity, when in fact there are wise people all over the planet living well and being happy who never heard the name of Christ and have never believed in Christ. And there are lots of people who are Christians who are miserable. So there doesn't seem to be much of a correlation between happiness and Christianity. In fact, as a psychologist, I can tell you that the more deeply religious someone is, the more likely they are to be unhappy, not the other way around. So that probably has something to do with the fact that the more unhappy you are, the more likely you are to want to embrace something delusional, or embrace something that's going to take you away from reality. What this correlation shows, is that it doesn't work. So the question is there some kind of benefits that you get from atheism that you wouldn't get from Christianity? And one of the most important benefits you get from being an atheist is that you are not a Christian, and you don't have all of the baggage of Christianity, either in yourself or in your society. And when I say society, I also am wanting to focus on another one of the assumptions that I think was involved in your video. You said, what are the benefits? And my question to you is, benefits for whom? I'm a gay man living in the United States. Your fundamentalist Christian religion is poison to me. It doesn't benefit me at all. It may help you and make you feel better, but it fucks me over. And you need to understand that. It's good for you maybe, but it is poison for me. People who vote based on your belief systems generally tend to vote for candidates that fuck me over. I don't know how else to put it. I know that might seem obscene to you, but it's the truth. So, benefit whom? And how do you define benefit? How does it benefit me not to have the right to get married? How does it benefit me to walk down the street and be beaten up for being gay? How does it benefit me if I'm a woman and I live in a society run by Talibanish people or by fundamentalist Christians, and I'm treated as a second-class citizen because of sexism? How does it benefit me as a black man living in the South in the 1960s and having white supremacy being taught by the majority of pulpits in the country at that time? How are any of those people benefit? So the question is, does Christianity and people believing in one religion or another make them happier? Well, yeah, that's probably why they continue to do it. Also, they're afraid not to do it because they're afraid that they'll be sent to hell, or that terrible things will happen to them in this life if they don't believe. But of course, that's what the liars who create religions want you to believe. That way you'll continue to believe, continue to go to their churches, continue to give them money and give them power, and give them power over you to control your behavior. So it's really kind of a racket. People make a lot of money off of it, from the Pope to Jimmy Swaggart to whoever, and they also get a lot of power out of it. The power to control other people's behavior. People get off on that. Now, again, you want to know what the benefits are of being an atheist. Well, does there need to be any benefit to being an atheist? Isn't there a benefit to knowing that you're being honest? Isn't there a benefit to looking at the world rationally? In other words, atheism isn't the result of a religious belief system, as you've said. It's the result of having a rational and scientific worldview. If you want to solve problems in this life, and if you solve problems in this life and you solve them well, you'll be happier. If you help other people solve problems and you get a large number of people together who can solve problems well, an entire society can be happy. You can't solve problems unless you have a realistic idea of how the world works and you have an idea of how people work. You're not going to get that from a religion, you're going to get it from science. When you have a society filled with large numbers of scientific people who do scientific things, you end up with a society that functions well. To the extent that a religion encourages that is to the extent that that religion is helpful to the society as a whole. To the extent that it encourages people to do those things on an individual basis is to the extent that that religion will help. But why is that necessary? Why is irrationality, delusion, and the belief in unseen and unverifiable things necessary to get people to do the exact opposite, which is to look at verifiable things and to look at things that in fact can be known to exist? Because after all, if you don't know the state of affairs in the world and you don't know how the world works, how can you solve problems? And that's why faith-based problem solving doesn't work. This is why it's crazy to be funding it, even besides the fact that it's a violation of the separation of church and state. So I think to bring this to a close, the question isn't so much what does atheism get people. The question is, what does rationality and science get people? And to what extent does religion either help or get in the way of that? Now, if we could live in a society where Christians kept their religions to themselves and went about their business, and if they thought women were second-class citizens, or that women had a special place, or that gay people shouldn't be doing things, they kept that to themselves, that would be one thing. But that isn't what religious people do. Whether it's Muslims, or whether it's Hindus, or whether it's fundamentalist Christians, they get involved in politics, they try to impose their will on other people, they try to impose their ideas on other people, then you get this group of people and that group of people all claiming to have the truth, but the truth contradicts, and then you get wars, and then you get conflict, etc., etc., etc. But you get a bunch of people of different languages, of different races, sitting down who are all scientists. They'll disagree, but the level of disagreement will be reduced. Conflict will still be there, but the conflict won't be intractable the way it is when religion gets involved. Religion does, I'm sorry to quote Christopher Hitchens, but religion does in fact poison everything. And I know that religion has poisoned me. And when I got that poison out of my life, that was the #1 benefit for being an atheist, for me personally. So this is Skeptic Sage saying that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and I know I ripped this off from somebody